Hello and welcome to the Corporate Club presents Corporate Gupshup with the primary objective of providing students with authentic career perspectives with senior achievers who have reached their milestones.
Here, we would like to welcome our guest Ayush Singh Tomar sir on the Corporate Gupshup, who got placed at EPAM as a junior data software engineer. First of all, congratulations, sir, on getting placed at EPAM.
Thank you.
Sir, I would like to ask what was your immediate reaction when the email popped up on your screen written congratulations, you have been selected.
When I first saw the congratulation email, my first reaction wasn't just excitement. It was a sense of relief as well, because placement success is not decided on the day of interview. It is the result of 100 days of the preparation and failures that you face before the actual interview.
What happened when you got in front of your family and told them that, see, I have been placed right now at this company? What was their reaction to it?
Uh, to be true, my parents were happier than I was. They had seen the late nights and the coding practice, the internships and the stress before interviews. So for them, it was the proof that the hard work that I am doing is actually paying off.
So now we would like to know about the whole hiring process, like how many rounds were there and what happened in each round.
So I will start with OA, online assessment. So people from the campus prepared for OA and appeared for it. And we were given some questions that were based on aptitude. And two of the questions were related to the problem solving, and for which we were given multiple options, like we can perform it in Java, C++, or Python. So you can select any of those and you can write the code for it. And after completing the OA, people were selected for the group discussion round. So in group discussion, you will probably have 11 people in one panel, and 2 people will be there to evaluate you. And you will be given a scenario over there, and you will have to discuss the scenario with the people you are sitting with. And if you qualify that round, you will be given the chance to appear for a technical interview. Then after appearing for technical interview, the final round comes, which is HR interview, where the only thing that they gauge is just some of your attributes.
So, what was the scenario given to you in the OA, in the GD round?
Mine was quite interesting. The scenario that I was given, that how will you handle the things if you were to operate the Operation Sindoor? So if I am there who is preparing and planning Operation Sindoor, what kind of steps I will take to make sure that the operation is efficient?
So, what was your answer to it?
See, I just plan to give some points that were completely new, because many of the people were repeating the same points. So some of my points were there that in this contemporary world, we are in a digital war as well. So it is a war of narrative. So firstly, I would handle these digital war. I will try to subjugate each and every negative propaganda that the enemy might try to propagate using the digital platforms.
That's quite interesting. So, can you tell me how many students were initially there in the process, and finally how many actually got the offer?
About 2 to 3,000 people were there who appeared for online assessment, and then 63 were able to make it up to the group discussion round, and at the end 41 people got the offer letter.
That's quite interesting.
It's a huge difference. So what are the current industry standards for people they hire? And practically on ground, what's the impact of AI in placements in the current situation?
Okay, so firstly I would answer the requirements that they have in their mind while they're looking for a candidate. So as you know that you will be working over applications. So the program that you write or the applications that you make should be modular. That means they should be divided into modules so that it is very easy for the other people to actually comprehend what is going on in the application. Because in companies, you do not work single-handedly. It is not like you are given a single project and you are the sole person responsible to complete that. You will be working with team. So you have to ensure that the other people in the team are able to comprehend your code and understand each and every corner of that code. So you should be able to write a modular code, one which is maintainable and understandable by other people. So one of the most important responsibilities is this, and some other responsibilities in this scenario are you should be ready to learn any tech which comes in your way of development. It is not like you have prepared in Python development or Java development and you are stuck to it. You are not going to change it because the technology is evolving very fast. Even you are able to understand that while looking at the news which is related to the tech world. Every second day you get another model of an AI which says that it is crossing the limits of the previous AI model, something like that. So this goes along in the same way in tech as well. If the tech is evolving, you have to evolve with the tech as well.
So
And
which is
question was AI impact on placements. So AI is not replacing software engineers; it is replacing software engineers who refuse to use AI. So today, companies expect candidates to use AI as a productive tool while still understanding the fundamentals. Initially, if you see that when calculator came, mathematicians were not there to say that maybe this is something that can eat our job. They took it as a tool, and it really became beneficial with the time. So if you cannot solve a problem without AI, you are dependent. But if you refuse to use AI, you are inefficient. So the sweet spot between these is knowing the both. You should be able to work with AI, but without getting more dependent.
so which resources did you use to start coding from scratch, and later which platforms that did you use to get good at DSA or coding as a whole?
So I didn't start in as an expert. Initially, every simple loop and the condition felt confusing to me. Uh, I think that the same goes for other people's as well. But the turning point was when I stopped collecting the courses and I started solving the problem. And that is the same thing I am going to suggest to you guys, that you should not really try to dig deep into finding different courses and planning schedules. Coding is a practical skill, and watching tutorials might feel productive, but writing the code is what actually builds the competence. So you can, I mean, if you want to use some platforms to brush it up, you can use LeadCode, Geeks for Geek, and there are multiple YouTube playlists and documentation of that specific tech stack that you are working on. But I will suggest you to find the resources that work best for you, because as a student, each of the student have different teachers which work efficiently to learn a specific topic. So I will ask you all to find the resources that you find more suitable for yourself.
Okay, sir. So, from which semester did you start working consistently and religiously on your coding practice?
If if I literally take the term religiously, I did not I did not do it in any of the semesters. But if I divide it in development and DSA, the first and second semesters were development heavy. I was very much indulged into development. I developed multiple websites which were based on Next and Munstack uh, wholly. And if I talk about DSA, I started to prepare for DSA maybe in fourth semester, near about fourth semester.
So what were the major problems and distractions that you faced, and what did you do to solve them?
My biggest challenge was not coding, it was consistency. Most of the students know what they have to do, but few can keep doing it for months without getting the immediate results. So I learned that the motivation is temporary, but the discipline creates results. So you have to be consistent in anything that you are doing. Even if you are doing DSA, and development, I will suggest you to keep doing them parallelly. It is not like that you devoted 2 to 3 months of your life in development, and then you devoted the next 2 to 3 months of your life in DSA, because these are the things that get vanished out of your brain if you do not even practice them for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So keep them parallelly and keep each and everything consistent. You should not leave one thing to prepare for the other one.
So you have done internships as well in Edureka as a full stack developer and in Mittal Alliance Industries Private Limited as a React developer. So how did you get these internships, and what should someone in the same shoes do to get internships in college?
So my way to get the internship was using platforms like LinkedIn. You all guys are having LinkedIn, so you can search for the internships over there. And if you apply to 20 or 30 companies and you feel that you are not getting the internship, it is not like you are not a good fit. It is probably that the company is not is somehow not acknowledging it right now. So just keep trying and keep applying. I am sure that if you apply to approximately 50 companies, you are surely going to get rewards from many of them, like a few of them at least.
Which semester do you think people should start applying in internships for college?
As per to me, I have this perspective which says that all of you should start looking for an internship from the first semester itself, because you are surely going to take some time to land your first internship. And after you get your first internship, getting the other internship is not a big deal. So just try to search for internships from the first semester itself, because even if you fail in the interviews, you are going to know what are the things that you have to work on, so that you can get into an internship as soon as possible. Because in the semesters like fourth and fifth semester, you are going to have some TNP classes as well, and they are going to take a lot of time of yours. So I will suggest you to get some decent internships, and only paid internships. I'm not going to ask you to perform unpaid internships, because they are not worthy at all. So you should try to look for paid internship in the initial semesters, first, second, third.
So, what do you think were the wow factors in your resume that made you stand out and that added maximum value to your resume?
I think recruiters liked my resume that showed the evidence of action. It had internships, it had hackathons, it had certifications, it had leadership experiences and projects as well. Together, they showed a consistency rather than a single achievement. So, if you feel like you're going to, if you have won SIH, or if you have achieved something which is very precious, but that is the only thing that you have achieved, and that's going to work in your resume. It is not like that. You should be able to understand intent of the person who is reviewing your resume. So try to add multiple things in the resume that are legit and that you have worked upon. And uh, some of the wow factors, if I personally talk about my resume, were the projects that did not sound like the normal projects that usually people have. So I made some projects that were unique and they worked out.
So, sir, can you explain in detail about your projects?
Okay. So, before answering this question, I would like to say that the recruiters are less interested in the project quantity and more interested in the project ownership. So, they want to know whether you have built it yourself, and why did you build it, and what problems you faced and how you solved them. So, some of the questions that are relatively common while they ask about the project is that what is the system design of the project? What problem does it actually solve? So you have got a lot of time to work on to tell about your project, but either you can blabber gibberish about it, or you can give an organized answer to that particular question. So go for an organized answer. And the questions that I got about my project were that the system design, the problem it solved, and what was my contribution in the project. and how did the project actually solve the problem in real world.
So, any of the hackathons? Like, can you name the specific hackathons that you mentioned?
Yeah, I can mention one of the names. It was GIH hackathon. Uh, Galgutia Institute of Technology was the one that conducted it. So uh, we did not won that, but I surely think that the idea that we presented was really good, and it is one of the reasons why I have those unique projects in my resume.
So what kind of platforms were you using to get the idea of the final interview? Did you give any mock interviews or apply any special strategy to check your confidence level and to analyze where you stand?
Well, there are multiple platforms where you can prepare for interviews or interview prep, and multiple such websites are over there. But something that I found effective for me was the STAR technique: situation, task, action, and result. So if you start to answer in this particular format, like first tell about the situation, then about the task, then about the action that you took, and then the result that you got, is something that really intrigues the person who's listening to the answer. And apart from that, I also got my mock interviews conducted by the help of my friends. We also made a website. It was a simple project. It was called Crack It, and we used it to conduct mock interviews, friend to friend. So I am the one to conduct mock interview of my friend. He's the one to conduct my mock interview. With the help of this strategy, we were able to increase the confidence that we have in our tech stack, because as you know that if you are getting mock interviews from your friend, they are trying to keep you in your edge. They will always try to belittle you with the questions that you might not be able to answer. So they give you the worst time complexity, if I say in coding language. So they give you the worst scenario which the person can put forth. So this is how we increase the confidence.
Uh, so, is there any advice that you would like to give for juniors to pass the technical interview round?
Okay, so first of all, I would say that do not prepare for the placements. Prepare to become employable, and prepare to become a valuable engineer. Placement is just a byproduct of that process. So, firstly, try to complete the basics by the end of the second year. If I name them, they are OOPS, DSA basics. Git and GitHub is one of the most important skill. You should be able to work upon Git and GitHub. And one project. By the end of second year, you should have one major. I mean, not major project, but a project which you have worked religiously on. So you should try to make a project which you know corners of, and which you personally want to work on. And then by the end of the third year, you should be able to work over the advanced DSA problems, DBMS, and OS, CN, and you should try to build your resume by then. And you should also try to add internship experience.
Sir, in your entire journey, are there any mistakes that you think you might have not done so you could have gotten better results?
Okay, so there were so many mistakes that I did, but if I could go back, so I would start networking earlier. I would have built projects sooner, and I have spent. I should have spent less time on overthinking for the perfect preparation. Many opportunities come from taking the action before you feel ready. So most of the time, what we do is we do not feel ready. We self doubt ourselves that are we even ready for this opportunity? Should we appear for it? So the answer obviously lies if you appear. If you won't appear, it is not the matter of success at all. But if you appear, you might have some chances to get successful. So show up earlier, and yeah, this is the only thing that I would do if I had the chance to go.
So, last but not the least, we would like to know your personal college journey in a brief manner. What were the steps that you took in your first year, in your second year, third year, and fourth year to get to this final opportunity of placement?
Okay. So in the first semester, as I said, that my initial goal in the first semester was to excel development. So I enrolled in some courses that I do not really suggest you to do that. If you want to, you can, but I do not suggest it because there are so many resources over the internet that you can refer for. Or if you are lacking in consistency, you should enroll in a course. So if you enroll in a course, then try to complete it. In the first semester, I completed development, and then in the second semester, I implemented what I learned in the first semester. Then in third semester, I tried to learn the basic subjects like the OOPS, DSA, CN, and in the fourth semester, I tried to solve some questions over it. And along with these, I also started to work on DSA. And then in fifth semester, I brushed it all up. And sixth and seventh semester were all just about implementation, what I already had.
Sir, is there any particular roadmap that you would like to tell about how to learn a particular tech stack or a language as a whole? Is there any way that you might that you already mentioned that we have to follow a project-based learning strategy that in which we are building consistently? Uh, should we prefer documentation, reading from documentation, or should we watch YouTube videos? Which one would you prefer, and which one would you recommend your juniors to do so?
Okay. So since you are in your college days, so you can start with tutorial, but get yourself accommodated with documentation as well. Because once you come in industry, you will have to work with documentation because they do not have tutorial for each and every tech that is being given to you. Although they are having tutorials for all of the major tech that is given, but still I would I request you all to go through the documentations as well. And then you asked about what should be your strategy to learn a particular tech. So you pointed very well that it is completely a practical learning. So if you learn a particular topic, try to implement it. Try to think about all of the possibilities that are doable after learning that particular topic. If you learn how to implement, how to attach a payment gateway to your application, try to attach payment gateways to each and every application that you already have. So you can actually get your hands dirty with that tech stack. And this is how you will be able to learn things in deep. Because if you just implement the thing that is given in the tutorial, you might remember it and you might not. But if you face some issues and then you try to mitigate it on your own, then I am sure that the thing that you are going to figure out, the solution that you are going to figure out for that particular problem will stay in your mind forever.
So you already mentioned that people have trouble remembering stuff when they have lost their track or when they are not studying consistently. What were the tactics did you use to keep your stuff in mind? To keep what can we say, to keep stuff remembered for a long period of time?
So I am personally not good with taking things along together simultaneously. So the first thing that I did was I took one thing at a time, and I really feel it was keeping me back most of the times, but it also worked in a positive manner because if you take one thing at a time, you are having a clear path for it. So, if you will tell your mind that you have multiple things to do, the only thing that it will do by the end of the day is to procrastinate. So, just make a list of each and every achievement that you have to complete by the end of the semester. You can further break it down into the achievements that you have to gather before the end of each and every week. And if you calculate the weeks, there are numerous before your B.Tech actually ends. So you are going to have a well-planned B.Tech journey ahead of you if you work like.
What do you think is the good CGPA that your juniors should attain such that they remain safe throughout their placement journey?
Although 7.5 is safe because most of the companies are going to ask you to have a CGPA which is above 7.5. And it's not just about CGPA, it's about 10th, 12th, and then CGPA. So you should be having a plus 75 in all of these. But if I consider something safe, then you should try to aim for an 8 CGPA. So if you are having a CGPA of 8th grade, then it is going to be beneficial because you are going to have a mental peace as well. That I lie good uh, from the margin of what is actually considered safe, and then you can work for the actual thing that are being implemented and that are being employed while you are placing for the placement session.
So, during the B.Tech journey, many students are in a dilemma that should we prepare for any competitive exam as a backup? So, we want to know your views on this statement.
My views on this statement is when you are having a backup, you are not going to give 100% to plan A. So try to give 100% to plan A. And about these competitive exams, so most of these competitive exams can you can also appear for many of these competitive exam after you are having a job in your hand. So if you actually have a clear plan that what you have to do and that plan goes through the path of competitive exam, then surely prepare for it. You should never belittle yourself. You should never de-evaluate yourself if someone says that no, you should not handle two things at a time. Maybe I am bad at it, but some people might be able to do that. So if your heart says that I know the path, this is clear path, and this exam is something that I have to prepare for, then prepare for it and appear for it. But my personal perspective will be that keep the things simple and take one step at a time.
Sir, were there any extracurriculars mentioned in your resume?
Yeah, some of the extracurricular activities that were mentioned in my resume were the first one was chess, and the second one was writing poems and stories. I'm really fond of it. So these were the three activities that I did in my free time.
What kind of books are you interested on? Is it
I
fiction,
am interested
non-fiction?
in fiction, thriller and fiction, which keeps you on your edge until it's completed.
Any books that you would like to recommend?
Uh, if it's not about placement, then I would surely recommend you to go through Magician of Laza. But if it is about placement, try to complete the first step book that is being given by the TNP department so as to prepare for the aptitude section of your uh, placement.
Uh, since which semester would you recommend your juniors to start preparing for aptitude? Because you have mentioned that aptitude does play a huge role.
It does. So it depends upon person. If you think that you are good at maths and calculation, and if you are good at it, simple logic building, then you can even start it in fifth semester, late fifth semester, in sixth semester, and you can wrap it up in like a single month as well. But if you think that you might be lacking in that particular aspect, then you should start preparing a little bit from the start. So you can do that on Saturdays and Sundays, like 1 hour or 2 hour. It is going to be beneficial in a long run.
So, also many students have a confusion that if they are not in any of the clubs or societies of the college, it might affect their placement to an extent. So, is this true or is it a myth?
It is completely a myth, and I have never heard of such a myth when I was in my college back then. So the only thing that they are going to gauge you on is this is something that they are going to get benefited from. If you are in a club that prefers to do some charitable stuff, and if you are in a club that plants tree, you can surely put that in your resume, because they are something that corporate also care about these days. But it is not mandatory. It is not going. It is not the way that you will sit in the interview and they will ask you, "Have you planted any tree?" And you are going to say that, "No, I have not." And they are going to say, "Just get out. I'm not going to hire you because you have not planted any trees." So it's not like that.
So, just for our audience, what was your ELO uh, in chess and any of the platforms that you might have been using?
Back in when I was a complete chess addict, I had it 1940, but now it has been reduced to 15ish.
That's pretty amazing. Sir, as you mentioned that aptitude and system design is very important. Uh, After which skill set people should start learning system design as a whole? Like you need to get hands-on with a particular tech stack, or is it okay to start from scratch?
So you should get into development first, because that is the playground. So if you want to learn how to play football, you should first be having playground with yourself. So development is the playground where you play the football, which metaphorically means system design. So first try to learn development, and then try to learn the basic subjects that you are having. For example, OOPS, object oriented programming. So it is the uh, base of system design. So when you are going to learn object oriented programming, then you will be able to extend it to system design. So first try to learn a bit of development, implement some object oriented programming onto it, and then try to implement system design work.
So we would like to have some tips to improve our communication skills.
The only thing that can improve your communication skill is to you know try to watch the content which actually enhances communication skill. So you can watch people talking to each other in the language that they are eloquent in, and if you feel like you stutter, so it might not be the reason that you are not eloquent in that particular language. It might be the reason that you actually stutter, because there are some people who stutter while speaking in Hindi, and they say that, oh, we are not good at English, this is the reason why we are stuttering. No, it's not like that. It is something that it is a natural tone of yours. If you stutter in Hindi, you are going to stutter in English as well. So try to talk as much as possible with your friends in a professional tone, so that you can develop that particular professional tone before you enter in a particular interview, so that you already have practiced enough to talk to them, and to like, put forth your ideas in a way that they can consume better and they can comprehend it.
So, what kind of questions you got asked in your technical interviews?
The question that I was asked in my technical interview were very tricky. Like it is a very simple question. He just asked me what is the difference between abstract class and interface, and when should I use which one. And I actually answered it on the first go, but he made me doubt myself. But like, are you sure? And can you tell me some of the uh, situations where you are going to use abstract class and where you are going to use interface? So I actually told him in a basis that, like, you might not be knowing about it, or maybe some of the people who do not have the subject might not be knowing about it. But I answered him in a way that if you have a bat, so bat actually extends an abstract class which is mammal, but it implements an interface which is flyable, because interface is something that can be done. Interface is generally made of something that can be done, and a class is something that something is derived of. So a bat is actually a mammal, but it can fly, is a mammal. So it is something which is having is a relationship. So it is an abstract class. But can fly. So where can comes, it is abstract. It is interface. So this is how I answered the question. And then I was given the then I was given a DSA problem. I'm not sure about what I got, but I was able to solve it. And since I directly solved it, he gave me another question. So you should approach the question in a way that you should try to do that in an unoptimized way first, and then go for the optimized one, because they might give you a question that you won't be able to do afterward because they think that you already know it.
So, what kind of questions were you asked on the DSA round?
uh, DSA round in like online assessment or in technical interview.
Go both one by one.
So in online assessment, we got basic questions that were related to arrays and string, but that is a luck factor. So you should prepare for the worst case, because as engineers, you will obviously work to get the best time complexity that's possible. And in technical interview, I was given the longest common subsequence. That was the first question that I was given, and I was able to do it. Then I was given a question which had orchards and flowers in it. So you will actually have to calculate when you will be able to make a bouquet of those flowers, like the days that you will need to make a bouquet of those flowers.
What is the actual amount of time that you get for solving all these questions? What is the optimal amount of time that you need to solve them?
You are going to stay there for almost 1 hour. So it completely depends upon you on how you divide your time. You can devote a lot of time in solving these questions, or you can either solve this question and you can uh, strengthen your image in front of the person who is taking your interview by explaining the other things that you are having in your answer.
Is there any must-haves that you should have, that you should absolutely have in your resume nowadays?
Nowadays, if I tell you, you should be having uh, design skills, system design, and skills which are related to artificial intelligence. You should tell them that you are comfortable in working with artificial intelligence, and if you land in some environment related to this, you will excel it. And some certifications related to that.
So, for example, if a person has only excelled in DSA and development, but hasn't got such wow factors like internships and hackathons, like he hasn't got these opportunities to be in. So, will it suffice? Like these two factors of this DSA and development, will they suffice in the resume if they did it very perfectly up to the mark?
Firstly, you should try to do such things because they actually tell that you were consistent in the implementation of the thing that you have done. Because if you say that I know DSA, they will ask you, have you prepared for CP, like competitive programming? And if you have prepared for development, then they are going to ask you in which hackathons did you make projects on, and what were those projects. So they are actually the proof of your work. So if you do not have them, it is not an issue, but you should have them. And if you do not have them and you know the topics very well, you should be able to express yourself and explain them in a way that they get confidence on the skill, that yeah, this particular guy knows about the thing he's talking about.
Did you opt for competitive programming as well?
I did not. I was a bit lean towards the development. I tried to enter in CP, but it was quite late. I was already in sixth semester, so you guys still have a lot of time in your plate, so you can do that for sure.
Would you recommend it to someone who is very placement oriented?
I will, because it actually tells you how you can work in time constraint. because if you are just working on DS and if you are solving question on LeadCode, you are not actually giving a lot of thought to how much time you are actually consuming to solve that particular question. But if you are preparing for competitive programming, then you are surely going to mind time as well, because time is a very crucial point if you are a competitive programmer.
So, if does mentioning the rankings of the competitive programming, will they enhance our resume in any way?
It does not make a lot of difference, but people might be having a perspective. If someone who knows about them is the panel, then it might affect, but it generally does not. So you can just name the skills, and if you feel like you should add, like if you really feel like I have a very good ranking in such
Preparing for
semester examinations, you feel like your mid semester examinations are about to come, then maybe you can just reduce the quantity of the questions that you are preparing, but try to continue it in any scenario, because if you discontinue it, you are going to uh, remember, you might not remember the topics after a while.
So, what is the correct pathway for solving DSA questions? Is it first you watch the tutorial and then you try to solve it, or first you try to solve it for how much time, like in half an hour, or if you might take an hour or two, and then you see solution afterwards, and then you see the tutorial lectures to get the more optimized way of the solution. What is the correct pathway?
There is not a specific time which you should wait for if you are not able to solve the question, because if you simply do not know about a thing, you do not know about that, you might not be able to do it. Even if you are not able to do it in 30 minutes, and you feel like if I devote some more time, you might be able to do that if you have learned that particular topic. So if you feel that all the topics in the question that are covered, if you will go in the platforms like LeadCode, you are going to get the list of the topics that are related to that particular question. So if you have completed them, and if you are trying to solve that question, and if you are not able to solve it, then you should try it, because you have already covered those topics. And if you have not, try to discuss it with your friends. There might be someone in your friend group who is having solution for it, and he can explain you in a better way than any person who is teaching in the online platforms, because a friend is a better teacher in my perspective. So try to get the solution from your friend, try to discuss it with him, because most of the time when you are discussing it, because most of the time when you are discussing, you automatically ask, oh, I'm missing this, and I just got this, it struck my mind at that point. I was explaining it to someone and it came into my mind at that point. I just went to my laptop and I solved it. So this is how things go. uh, Tutorial is something that you should resolve by the end of the day. So let's say you are solving a question, and you discussed it with your friends, and you did not get any fruitful conclusion from that, and you asked it from your teachers and you did not get any fruitful conclusion from that. By the end of the day, before sleeping, you should watch a tutorial. You should try to solve it if you are able to. But after 2 to 3 hours of watching tutorial, what happens is, if I'm not able to do that, and I'll directly watch the tutorial, and after watching the tutorial I directly implemented it, uh, you are cramming the solution, you are trying to cram the solution that the person in the tutorial gave. You did not actually feel it. So you will feel it when you will feel the pressure of solving the problem, and when you will be disheartened that you are not able to solve the question, then your mind will actually motivate you to know the actual solution of it.
So, how many marks will you give yourselves out of 10 upon the coding practice consistency? If you look at your
Two out.
so 2 out of 10.
Yes.
Please
I
make me humble.
really lag behind in the topic of consistency, but I am uh, making some uh, I'm making some positive enhancements in it. And lately, I have seen that I am able to get more consistent with the stuff. So uh, just do not watch those motivational videos. I have tried it; they're not going to work because motivation is something which comes from within. So try to find those things that will keep you motivating throughout your college life, because there might be a personality that you want to be like. For example, Shreyansh or Ritika might be wanting to be a senior software developer. So make the sketch in your mind. Yeah, this is the person that I am aiming for. And if I did not work today, I might lose in this personality. I might not be able to get that personality.
Did you use any flashcards to retain the information?
Uh, uh, if I have to talk about retaining information, I'm quite good at that. So I do not really need to use these flashcard stuff or something. But if you feel like you are someone who forgets the thing easily, you can maintain a diary. And by the end of the day, you can write the concepts that you learned today. And by the end of the week, you can skim through it. So this is one of the best thing I have heard my friends doing, and they worked really efficiently.
Are there any advices that you would like to give for the people appearing in hackathons?
In fact, so if you are the first thing that you should do while appearing for the hackathon is to build a team. And the team is not built on the criteria that someone is your friend and someone is not. Yeah, I'll pick Shreyansh because he's my friend, and I won't pick Ritika because she's not. It's not like that. You need to pick friends on the basis of the tech stack that they work and the necessity of the project. So uh, try to build a team which is very healthy. And by the term healthy, I mean that the people who can collaborate with each other. Because if you get some people who do not have a good mutual understanding, so you might end up doing whole work on your own, and it is not something that you build a team for. Because while you go in a hackathon, and if that hackathon is meant to be a team hackathon, then your team has to work like a human body, where each and every organ of the body is working simultaneously with each other, with a mutual understanding, to work together. And if any of the organ fails, the person is deceased. So this is how you work. You should build a team, and then the first thing that you should do is to actually plan the stuff that you are trying to make. You should try to gauge the viability. Will it be able to sustain? Will you be able to make it? Is it doable, or are you trying to make something which is not possible? So plan the things first, organize the thing, and then segregate the task as per to the tech stack of the people you are having in your team. And since the starting, try to work with GitHub, because if you do not work with GitHub, integration is the part that is going to be pain in that's going to be a pain for you.
Okay, so it's a good piece of advice. So, in your B.Tech journey, were you a person who was very organized, like who would plan the next day in the previous night, or someone who would go naturally with the flow as the things happens?
I overplanned the things initially. I started to plan too much. I planned my plans before I planned the things. So you should try not to plan too much, because if you will, because the thing what planning actually does is it instills dopamine in your brain. It then you feel like you did something because you planned, but you actually did not. So just try to implement the things, go with the flow, and see, organization is something that is really helpful in long run. So organize the thing, but do not over plan. Planning is something which is good, but over planning is not good at all. It is only going to make you an overthinker, and is going to consume your time for nothing.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
No
So,
issues.
so you've been a lovely guest this evening. Thank you everyone for joining us for this session of Corporate Gupshup. We hope this conversation provide valuable insights and inspiration for all aspiring professionals. On behalf of the Corporate Club and the Training and Placement Department of LNCT, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to all our respected seniors and mentors. Thank you so much, Anuj sir and Pushpang sir. We would also like to thank the TNP department for providing us this career-defining opportunity. Everyone present here today, thank you so much for listening us sincerely.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.